Welcome to the Pitmaster Podcast. We're barbecue competition competitors that aim to share information, advice, tips, and tall tales about our favorite pastime. Head over to thepitmasterpodcast.com for all things Pitmasters, or follow us on your favorite social media platform. And now, here are the hosts of the Pitmaster Podcast, the two-time grand champion, SCA World Champion finalist, and barbecue specialist of Smoke Ain't No Joke Barbecue, the Anthony Luan, and the 24-time grand and reserve grand champion, reserve world grand champion, Windover High Roller champion, and the founder of Pitmaster Barbecue Supply Company stores in Utah, the old man himself from Big Johnson's Barbecue, Jesse Johnson.
This is Greg Rempe from the Barbecue Central Show, and you are listening to the Pitmasters Podcast, and they are doing it live.
We'll do it live.
That's right, Bill. I just said that. They're going to do it live.
We'll do it live.
Yes, live. They're going to do it live.
What's up, Pitmasters? How's it going, Jesse?
What's happening, Anthony? How you doing today?
Not too bad, man. Just chugging along, trying to get through this cold weather. This cold weather with no snow.
Cold weather. It was 52 degrees today.
Yeah, it's the morning though. It's the morning and evenings. You know, I'm trapped in a building all day during the night.
Me too. I do have to go outside from time to time. It's kind of nice to go out and it's just like let the sun hit you, get a little vitamin D therapy. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Any new word on anything?
Nothing brand new.
Right.
We did get reached out to from the Barbecue World Cup. We should be having on one of the founders in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
He's going to kind of break down what's going on. I think they're going to release a bunch of new competitions the Wednesday after Super Bowl.
Nice.
Trying to get him on Tuesday, but he doesn't want to release the information until the next day. I'm like, just give us the scoop. We'll be a day early.
Let us break the news a little bit. Yeah.
I gave that to Crystal. I'll let Crystal handle that. She's the wizard when it comes to booking folks. So it's Scott from the World Cup. So
yeah. Well, I got an update from the Golden State Battle in Riverside, California that went down. We got GC Luton Booty Barbecue 708.5372. What a fantastic score. RGC Cherry Anchor Barbecue is 706.24. Chicken, we got Papa Pigs at a 180. Ribs, I guess SoCal Outlaw Barbecue. Pork Cherry Acre with a 180, and brisket was Pork Bomb Barbecue. 41 teams.
Dude, Smitty is just consistent.
Right.
I mean, Slaborama, was he third or fourth overall?
Third.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
So he's just there all the time.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, there's 41 teams, 5 teams made 700 and 4 180s in that event. So
that's cool.
It's pretty solid.
Well, we're one team away from being a qualifier for Blue Compass for the Jack.
Right. So Brandon Nelson, I know you're watching. Sign up.
He was just texting me just a few minutes ago. Yeah, if you don't sign up, don't send me those rubs you want me to carry in the store.
Oh man, wow, that is some blackmail, man. That's some blackmail. Yeah.
Hey.
But so there's not a whole lot going on the West Coast in the month of February right now. So look forward to the March for the SCA Worlds.
There's so much stuff going on in February.
What's going on? Barbecue us.
We got you said I didn't hear the barbecue. I got my 60th birthday next week.
All right.
Old man turning 60.
Yeah.
We got the Hunt Expo coming up. We got Valentine's coming up. We got the Super Bowl this weekend. So if you're out there and about and you need some help with some of the stuff for take your Super Bowl party to the next level, come see us at Pitmaster Supply Company in Ogden and Layton. We'll hook you up.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, but for barbecue, slow. March is SCA Worlds, and then there'll be a couple barbecue events, and then it really pops off in April and May.
Did you see Sin Ben's new video?
Yeah, AI generated. It was awesome.
Looks so cool. Yeah, they turned out so awesome.
Right, that was awesome. So yeah, and then there's Texas is going to be having the What am I just totally blanked out. The World Food Championships as well. So,
Right. Yeah.
so that is awesome. But let's go talk to Raymond about becoming the West Coast steak champion, cooking all the way out of Texas.
Yeah. How does that work?
Right, exactly. Let's go find out.
That's a lot of driving, son.
Yep.
All right, let's go get Ray.
Yeah.
This is the single best investment you can make to become a better cook.
ThermoPen 1 is the best thermometer I've ever had.
My thermometer of choice is ThermoWorks.
When it comes to quality that I can trust, this is the company that I go to over and over again.
There may be other thermometers out there, but there aren't other ThermoPens.
Raymond Patterson, welcome to the show, man. How's it going?
Doing good, very well.
He's hiding back there.
Yeah, he says he's at his truck in his truck doing this interview while his son is in practicing basketball, right? Hopefully not a game.
No, it's practice.
Yeah, exactly. So let's just talk about this. Let's just throw this out there. How does a Texas guy win the West Coast State Championship?
Yeah. How many miles you put on your truck?
Actually, I flew everywhere pretty much. I fly up there, and my good buddy Nate comes, picks me up, and houses me and helps me with all the equipment, and we, I guess, do pretty good up there.
So
I guess.
Right. So did you just cook just in Utah only?
And I cooked Utah, Las Vegas, but yeah, it's pretty much about the only two states I cooked in, I think, on the West Coast part.
Wow. That's very, very interesting how you just fly up to Utah, use other people's equipment, and then turn around and just win the whole thing. That is kind of awesome and impressive as well.
Very impressive.
Yeah. Yeah. So
to win the West Coast Steak Championship, how many competitions did you compete in?
I think only 8, somewhere in there, 8, 7 or 8, something like that.
That's cool.
So it's an average score of your top 10s, and so he dominated every time he came out. Was with, I think your lowest one was like what, 4th place or something like that.
Something like that, yes.
So yeah, he came out and dominated and just got his 8 qualifying cooks and just maintained that higher percentage average. So talk about consistency.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, so at elevation.
So how did you get involved in the SCA and steak cooking championships? How'd you get started?
Well, before I was doing barbecue and everything was getting so far away for me, and at that time SCA was right at my back door, so I started doing that. I could do most of my cooks in 3-4 hours, but now there's nothing around me now, so I had to drive long ways or fly. So it's my. I think I've been doing it 6 years now.
Nice. Wow. So did you take any classes, or was this just kind of what you learned online and then jumped into it and they just kind of evolved? How did you actually just learn how to cook a steak?
I mean, my first comp was in Fort Worth at a brewery. I got second to last, and then I started talking to Jason with Papa Joe's, and then I took Johnny Joseph's class, and I took a couple of the barbecue champs classes. Jimmy Miller's class, the Browns. But I mean, I enjoy taking classes because you can pick up different tips and tricks and stuff. And but yeah, I took classes.
Yeah, so here's the thing. It's very weird. There's people that take a lot of classes like yourself, Raymond, and then there's other people that just go to YouTube and learn on the free side. Do you think it is 100% beneficial to spend that money to be able to go out there and cook a great steak every single time from learning from these people, or is it more, did you learn more from hands-on and people showing you in person?
Pretty much. I mean, I learned hands-on, but I mean, I took the classes to learn different tips and tricks. But I mean, when I first started, I tried taking the online YouTube thing or whatever it is that Cosmos had and tried his flavor, and that got me second to last. So I didn't do that no more.
I know some people that have taken a world championship with his flavor profile.
Right.
There's plenty of them, but yeah, I mean, there's different processes for different people. I mean, what works for me may not work for everybody else, but it's
right.
it's just a process,
But what was the moment that you're like, okay, I kind of like doing this. What I'm gonna take this really serious now. What was that moment that kind of kicked you into the next level?
Probably the second or third year when I started doing more first place walks. My first year I was barely made the top 10 at the end of the year, but then the second year we started walking more consistently, and the consistent walks in the top 5, helps carry on. If you're not walking, you kind of get discouraged sometimes, but
right. So are you planning on making a run to do it again for the West Coast, or are you planning on more staying in your region since the SCA's broke up the country into different regions and will have a regional champ?
I mean, I never even went after the West Coast to begin with. I just like going out there and cooking with y'all and
kicking everybody's ass.
Right.
I wind up on the list. So, I mean, it's nice to be up there, but I never thought I'd be first. I just go out there and enjoy hanging out with Nate and them and cooking with all the guys out that way. I mean, we went down to Mexico, cooked down that way, and it's fun.
You actually like hanging out with Nate?
Yeah,
It's a loaded question.
Nate. I love Nate to death, though. He's about the calmest, coolest guy I know.
Yeah.
Sure.
He's almost too laid back. He's almost too laid back.
But he's got that, you can see it in his eyes, that competitive spirit, though.
Really, it's very true, very true. Yeah, so what is it like traveling like that? Do you just pretty much bring your rubs and your thermopens along, or what is the behind the scenes to be able to just jump on a plane and be able to consistently do something like that?
I bring in a pretty good sized suitcase that pretty much has all my stuff in it besides a grill and table, chair, stuff like that. But I try to bring all my own knives, all my own seasonings, anything. I don't want to be a burden to whoever's trying to help me out or who is helping me out. So I try to bring most of all my stuff. But a lot of them just tell me just to bring my electronics, my seasonings. But I bring my own bags, my own gloves, all that good stuff. But
I like it. Having your own knives makes all the difference in the world.
Yes,
really you know what you're going to use. You put it in your bag and your roll up, and you're all set.
Yeah, you can go ahead and tell all those people what electronics you do carry.
I carry lots of thermopens, ThermoWorks stuff.
Yeah,
thermopen, the dots.
Yeah,
a lot of ThermoWorks stuff.
So the reason why I brought that up is there's a lot of cool technology all the way up to the RFX, wireless stuff and everything like that. But the thing is Raymond you keep it really basic. You use a dot and a needle probe most of the time, right? Isn't that? And then the thermopen. So you're not going too crazy. You're just sticking to the basics, and it's working for you.
Right. Yeah, it's nothing. We're not using the RF. I mean, I've got it, and just I hadn't ventured over into using it the whole time right now. But the dot works great, and the thermopen and everything.
I just. You just stay where you are. Give me a little bit of competitive advantage because that RFX has definitely changed my stake game. It's held my scores a lot. So let's just keep I don't need you to bump it up to the next level and make it really hard to catch you.
Because you got those four different sensors in the RFX.
Right? Exactly. Yeah, it's crazy. Have you done any ancillaries while you're out there, or are you just straight steak only?
I've done a couple of the grilled cheese sandwiches and got first places and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't do a whole lot of the ancillaries.
Right. Grilled cheese sandwiches, I guess.
That does sound good for dinner, though.
Right? I'm like, wait a second, that sounds pretty dang good. Like, but the categories are very hit or miss, and I completely understand where you're coming from. If you're going to fly in, being able to do a different ancillary is actually a little bit more difficult for you because you don't really have all your cooking tools there and stuff like that. But I can see a grilled cheese sandwich would be pretty easy. Or taco would probably be a good easy ancillary to execute as well.
Mhm.
Actually, Chris and I walked with our steak trimmings on the taco category.
For tacos.
Yeah, so we just took the tail part, cut out all the little meats and all our trimmings and everything that, and made tacos out of it, and we actually did pretty good. It was pretty funny.
That's cool.
We didn't even buy our meat. We just literally used our steak trimmings, and it worked out fantastic.
All right, so you're flying into these competitions. All right, when you arrive at the competition, hook up with your friends, get all your grills. What kind of fuel are you using and what kind of grills have you been cooking on at these competitions where you're borrowing one?
Most of the time it's an M grills of some sort. Like with Nate, he usually lets me use his M16. Down in Mexico, I think we use the M80. When I fly over to Florida, it may be a PK or maybe a pellet, just whatever somebody's got. I just use and
don't care.
No, pretty much. Because on my cook trailer, I use a pellet smoker. So when I'm flying, I just, when I first started, I was using a PK 360, then went to the other PK. Then Travis picked me up with the M grills and started using M16 for a while, and then they sold it, and the new people got on with me and hooked me up with the M80s and the blazing pellet smokers. So I can kind of.
So that's what smoker you're using is blazing?
Yes, the blazing pellet smokers on my trailer.
That's cool.
That is awesome. So I think we need to get a gas grill going for you, see if you can get that Blue Rhino bonus.
I thought about that when I seen that $1,000 bounty on the first places.
Right? I don't even know if there's would even recommend a good gas grill that you could actually take to competitions. I don't even know where to start. Jesse, do you have any ideas where to start with a competition gas grill?
For me, I like reverse searing steaks at the competition. I still like to put some smoke on it, and then you could actually just get one of the Camp Chef sideburns, and because the Green Mountain has an electric one and Camp Chef has a gas one. There's your gas grill right there on the side of your smoker.
Yeah.
Get your blue compass, blue rhino bonus.
Yeah, it's $1,000. Has anybody won that you know of, Raymond?
And no, not that I know of.
No wonder why it's out there, because they're like, nobody can win on gas. No offense to Blue Rhino if you're out there listening, but man, it just makes it difficult to be able to have a gas grill to be able to do what we do.
Yeah, and you're missing the flavor aspect of what you get off with the charcoal and the pellets,
Right, exactly. And then a lot of these SCA events are connected to KCBS events as well too, and having propane in your camp is kind of frowned upon.
Right.
Well, it's everybody's watching, so
yeah.
Everybody's paying attention. Everybody's doing a little shigging, so I don't think anybody's gonna be cheating and using propane in their KCBS event.
That's what you think. That's what you think, Jesse.
There's too many eyeballs at a competition. You got 25, 30 teams, or 60 teams, or 90 teams. There's people paying attention more than you know.
Right.
So
Raymond, if you're willing to, in case there's some new cooks out there, can you let's go through your steps of process of, like selecting a steak, trimming and all that. You don't need to go into fine details. That's going to be for your master class when it comes up. But
yeah, just tell them what's the difference between a good steak and a great steak in your opinion when you're picking.
Yeah.
I just usually go for the smaller tri-hearts, with the good marbling that I can shape. Didn't have a lot of, big fat that I got to worry about burning on my marks and stuff. But I mean, if I can't find a baby tri, then a spinalis that's got a big spinalis on it, either way. But I stay away from the big tries unless I'm in front of Liz. And then if I'm in front of Liz, I'm going for the big tri-heart.
So you're looking more or less. You're picking right around the
in the middle,
5th or 6th cut, right around there, maybe. Yeah, about 5 or 6.
4th, 4th or 5th.
Yeah. Yeah, and are you feeling that is just because it gives you a consistent cook? Because some try hards you have to you're more on the lower side, and then some more spinalis you want to go to the higher done temperature. Do you just feel like just meet in the middle for the medium temp?
I just pretty much do the same on all of it. As I cook a practice steak on each one of my comps. Obviously because I travel, elevation, everything's different. So I cook a practice each time,
Yeah.
and judge my turning steak off of the doneness off the practice,
Yeah.
But, it's just I always do that practice steak.
Right.
I know a lot of people don't do it, but
we got Steve Conaway in here commenting about it. The gas grill has to taste better than an air fried cooked steak. You know what? I still beat some people with my air fried steak, Steve. So
there you have it.
There you have it. So, and then when it comes to trimming, this is my hardest part. People go to work immediately. Are you the type of person that will go get your steak and just start putting work on it, or do you put it in the cooler, let it get a little bit more firm before you go? What is your timeline ish after steak selection?
I mean, depending on how long the steak has been out in the sun, how mushy it is. If I'll throw it back in the freezer or cooler to firm it up a little bit, it makes it easier to trim. But yeah, once I get back in to the trailer, I go ahead and start trimming and getting all that stuff ready. Trim it and get it set up and marinate and all that stuff.
And then, are you so you do put it through a marinade like you just said, but do you season right away to try to pull some moisture out of it, or do you more or less just wait till is there a certain time, like an hour before your steak goes on? What is your seasoning window?
I just I go ahead and season right after I marinate.
Yeah, and then just kind of let that
rub. How long do you marinate typically?
Usually it could be anywhere from 8 to 12 minutes per side.
Oh.
I use Wicked Pig.
Wicked Pig. That's what I was figuring with that short of a time frame.
Yeah.
So what's some of the things that like a brand new cook is going to overlook that you absolutely obsess over when you're getting ready for your competition?
I don't know. I mean, I never thought about that. I just try to make sure I got everything that I need, have everything ready. If I can pull up in there the night before, I pull up the night before and get my marinades mixed up and have my seasonings mixed up to where I'm not in a rush, stressing out, last minute things. And, that way there, everything has plenty of time to marinate to bond and so. But no, I just try to make sure everything's ready to go and not stress on getting behind on everything.
So are you using do you have a backstock of the old Wicked Pig or are you using the new Wicked Pig?
I pretty much use the new Wicked Pig. I mean, I do have a case of the old stuff, but I pretty much just use the new stuff that Aces Wild has out.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the biggest difference for people that don't know what we're talking about? What is the difference between the new stuff and the old stuff?
I think the old stuff, you don't need as much time. The new stuff takes, doesn't marinate it as fast. But I don't. With my process, I don't see a whole lot of difference in it. I know I can get, a lot of people like the old stuff, but the new stuff seems to work just fine for us.
Yeah, people were obsessing over the old formula, and I think I had the last stock in Utah, and everybody and their mother come and just bought it all up.
Is it just because they have that more of that quick tenderizer in it, right?
I think so.
And
yeah.
The
old container, I pour the new stuff into the old container and use the old scoop instead of using whatever. But
and then speaking of the marinades and stuff, do you just use bottled water? Because I know there's videos out there about people using certain kind of alkaline waters with those products. Are you just whatever's available type person, or are you trying to look for that certain alkaline water?
No, I just mix it with the beef consomme. And then I pat dry. I don't use I don't mix water with mine.
Yeah, so it's just straight the consomme. That was a tip, huge tip. Write those down, people.
Yeah. Beef consomme tastes great in your brisket jus too, man.
Yeah.
Right.
What is the I've never even researched this, but what's the difference between the consomme and then the broth? Is it just more reduced broth? Is that all it is? It's just more thicker?
I think it's a reduced it's been reduced quite a bit.
Yeah, that's it is. It's just a reduction.
I don't think
so.
the broth doesn't gel up as bad as the beef consomme, but
Yeah.
you just gotta make sure you got the heat on in the cold weather
Right.
to gel up.
Right. Maybe I should research the difference. That's my bad, people.
Yeah, I was guessing too, so I don't know either. I just
Right.
know how I like the way it tastes, but I also like mixing up that Miner's beef broth out of the base. That stuff is just so beefy and so pungent. I love that stuff.
Steve Conaway says it's gelatin.
Could be
Gelatin. Yeah. So that's why you said it in the colder weathers you'll get some more problems with that. So as you cook the steak, let's just tackle that question. After you're done cooking your steak, are you painting and touching up your grill marks? Are you using grill mark tools? Or are you just letting it just be the way it is?
If I need to paint or adjust the lines, I will. I mean, here lately, I've been able to not have to adjust much. That was one of my biggest deals is my lines. You know, when you start putting the butter on there and stuff, sometimes that washes the lines off, or
Yeah.
stuff sticks too much. So I've gotten here lately where I've gotten worked on the lines. I don't have to paint as much, but
Yeah.
I don't have the kitchen stuff that just kind of real thin. I don't have all the mixtures to make it a little thicker, make it look as good as some folks do. So,
Right. So you use that as a tool, not a crutch, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
That is awesome. And then as for done temperature, this is one thing that I think a lot of people, and hopefully you can help a lot of people out, is when to pull your steak. When your steak is climbing up slowly, is there a certain point where you decide, hey, it's done? Or if it's screaming hot and it's cooking fast, is there a certain point where you pull it off as well? So a slow cook versus a really fast cook on those steaks.
I mean, I normally try to pull somewhere around 136, and if it's coming up slow, I may have to put it back on or put it on top of the M16 to keep some more energy in it. Or if it's going too fast, I may have to stick it in the cooler or under a fan or something to slow it down. Just depends on how fast it's coming up on your temp, whatever.
And like on the fast side, where do you hit the panic button and decide to throw it in ice? What temperature do you like? Oh shit, we need to hit the brakes. What temperature is that? Because technically a medium steak is anywhere from 135 to technically 145 if you want to hit that window. So where is your like, oh shit button when it's cooking fast like that?
I mean, with one of my tools, I mean, my tip can go all the way up to 150 something and still fine. But it's basically, I don't know, probably around 139 to 140 if it's not slowing down. I like to try to start making it slow down.
Yeah.
Cause,
and what tool are you talking about? You're talking about the Meatrix?
Yes. Yeah.
Explain to the new people what the Meatrix is and what does it do.
The Meatrix judges more off of my Globin. I've done this off of the average and stuff. So my particular machine, I like to see between 147 to 152. But I mean, that's just with my process. Some people's process doesn't. I pull, like on my machine, I may pull it at 62%, depending on during the summer to have more carryover. Sometimes during the winter, we won't pull it till like 67%. But then you got your carryover, and that's kind of what I like to watch is the carryover on that. And then if I'm worried, I'll stick that dot in there just to double check my temperature. No, or the
Right.
What
Thermo.
is,
You
so
know,
for the new people, what does those percentages mean?
the percentage of doneness is what we're looking for. You want to get
62% done?
no, it's you want to well we pull it 62, let it carry over to 120%. Is when you'd like for it to stop is 120 at 147 degrees.
Mhm.
But sometimes the energy just keeps going, and it may be 150 whatever and 130%. But so I mean that's why I do the practice. Also, I can judge off of that, and then you know judge the lighting. I mean it's
Yeah.
it all kind of goes together on a lot of that stuff.
Right. I've never used that system. I can't really talk about it, so I don't really understand exactly how it works. But I think temperature is key. Steve Conaway's here, and he's all about the Meatrix system as well. But I think if you're a beginner, it doesn't matter what system you're using. I think it's just as long as you have an accurate thermometer to be able to get you in that ballpark that you're going for. I think that's the biggest
Mhm.
step for as a new cook. Don't go cheap, but
Nope.
spend a couple dollars more, the extra $50 or whatever to get into a good thermometer. I know we're huge ThermoWorks people here, but don't buy that $10 crap off Amazon.
No. I mean,
Do not.
a dot and a needle probe isn't that
Yeah.
expensive.
No, it's not. It really is not. So
I've got a pile of dots. I use dots all the time.
yeah,
You
exactly.
Yeah, I do too. I got about
Exactly.
3 of everything, I think, if not
Right.
4 of everything.
Yeah, it's key to be able to, and it's not just cooking steaks. It's cooking, your pork butt, your briskets,
Mhm.
fish. If you got the needle probe, it's just everything is going to be a lot more dialed, right? It's the quality, like Steve said. It's just quality, making sure that you spend your money in the right places versus buying something 100 times that's not quality, and you're like, what's
And
going on?
I'm so glad ThermoWorks went from the silicone uh, cable into the braided cable now, so it's more
Yeah.
durable and handle heat a little bit better. I've always loved the needle probes.
Yeah, it's an awesome probe. It is
Yeah.
definitely an awesome probe. So when it comes to, I'm asking a lot of questions. I'm saying for the new people, but it's really for me. But
Full on shig mode.
yeah. But so I've been getting killed in tenderness, Raymond. Do you think it's because I'm over, or I'm just not letting it marinate? What do you think is the trigger point on tenderness? Because my doneness scores are money, my appearance are money, but it's my tenderness where I'm just been getting dinged at. What do you think from your experience? What could be going on with that?
I mean, that's what I fought with a lot this last year. I run 11 minutes there for a long time, and then all of a sudden I started not hitting my texture score, so I backed down to 8 minutes, and still was hit or miss. So I'm back up to 11 and 12 minutes now. So I'm trying to go longer now. Just to I don't know. I mean, this last year was rough on texture scores.
Right.
And it may be because I travel everywhere. Different judges. I'm not staying in one area with one set of judges.
Yeah.
Judges in Texas may be different from the judges in Utah on what they consider texture.
And this is the hard part because one, I don't like hounding judges. I know there's a reason why that judges kind of disperse, because they don't want to get hounded. Like, hey, did you have this? Did you have that? I'm just really trying not to be that guy, but I try to extract information from them. And I've heard everything for tenderness from, if I can cut it with my knife without having to saw through it, that's one tenderness score. Some judges say if I can bite through it smoothly and not have to really, gnaw on it. Some judges just say that it's by feel when they're putting their fork in. So that's the really, really hard part, is being able to nail texture. Because
Right.
I don't think there's not really a fair way to actually judge texture, because it comes down to the individual person, what they enjoy on texture.
It's got to be a mouthfeel, not your utensils that you're serving the steak in. that texture is in your mouth. In my opinion, I mean, you got to feel that texture in your mouth.
But there's also like Scott Nardi's crew, out there in Wisconsin and everything. They get super, super, super tender steaks. Because they're sous vide and everything like that. And I've heard judges before, like it's almost like you can almost peel it with your fork because it's that tender, and they do fantastic.
Wow.
So I just don't know. Steve Conaway's on here. He's commenting. Thank you for all your comments, by the way, Steve. But I think it looks like everybody was struggling with texture throughout the year. So
I can cook with 3 of us, and we pretty much do the same marinade, same everything. And I may get a 48, and they may get 50s, or vice versa. But there's 3 or 4 of us that cook together, and we share information and marinades and marinade times and all that good stuff. And I mean, it's a lot of what table you land on also.
Yeah, that's a big thing too.
Table has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, the table has a lot to do with it, and like we envision in our brains, hey, there's Travis Bates over there, and there's Amanda over there. Those guys are going to be on my table. They're not going to be on your table. You don't know what table they're going to be on. They can all be on one table, and they actually hate your stuff, and they're killing you. But then it really does. You really don't know where they're going to be. Judges are going to be seated, what tables they're going to be on, or even if they're even tasting that day, because they can come over and tell you what they're looking for, but then you don't even know if they're even tasting that day. So it makes it even more difficult.
Yeah. You absolutely, you're never going to know what table you're going to land on. That's between KCBS and SCA. That's the luck of the draw.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's across all competition food sports, I should say, because I might enjoy a steak different than you, Jesse, even though we might be both competitors. Be like, we cook the same steak, and you'd be like, no, that's too chewy, and I'm like, no, that's just right, and that's the difference maker, and it makes it tough.
That's why I think it's like these judges are basing it off of how they can cut the steak or how it feels in their fork. I'm like, I don't get that at all. I mean, you were judging ribs or brisket or pork. Yeah, you can see it, you can feel it, you can do the pull test with everything else, but that texture has got to be a mouthfeel, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
That's it.
Maybe I need to go judge an SCA event since I'm certified. I've just never done one.
That's it. We're gonna have a movement. We're gonna have a PSI machine. They take a cut of steak off, put it in there, put it under pressure, and it has to hit a certain pressure test. Let's get a computer involved. Not really, but I just don't think there's really an answer to texture. I just really think steaks are variant. Luckily here in Utah at the Barbecue Pit Hot Stop Series, they do cook. We do have Creekstone Farms consistently, so we can rely on that product. But when you're moving around the country like Raymond does, he doesn't have the same product every single time. So it's a huge variant as well.
What was funny is when we did that New Year's Eve competition, everybody was like dying over those steaks because Nate from Bingham's Meats up in Brigham and in Morgan, he gave us the first 6 steaks in that prime rib.
Yeah.
Took off the mother-in-law steak, and he gave us the first 6. Everybody was tripping balls about how good those steaks were.
Everybody had a great steak. Even on your second pick and last pick.
There was guys telling me this steak on my second steak was better than the first steak at half my competitions.
Right.
Like, that's a testament to Nate. That's why he's on the USA butcher team. He's amazing.
Right. Yeah. So but yeah, is there like really anything else other than, I guess we kind of touched upon everything other than boxing. Is there a secret to boxing? Just kind of just make sure that you kind of put that, imagine where that visible line is in the center of that box and try to line it up.
I try to give them the most of the spinalis, to get their taste off of. Once I string up my steak and shape it, I try to make it, where they get the most spinalis on the bottom side to taste off of.
Right. Steve Conaway wants to know your opinion on resting or not resting. Resting or not resting your steak.
Yes, I rest my steak. Yes.
What is your rest? What is it? Is your rest to temperature? Like you let it peak and then let it drop, or is it a time based?
It's just the temperature.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once it gets to where it goes, and I let it. I've run mine to where on my Meatrix it quits climbing. A lot of people they hit 120, then they just throw it in the box and go. It finishes inside the box, but I actually let mine sit there on the table and stop climbing. Whether I know what percentage it went to, what temperature it went to, and then if I need to, I can adjust it next time.
And it's just straight table temperature, or are you tenting at all?
I will take in at 100%. I will open it up and let it. If it's within that 147 to 152, I will open it up and let it go ahead and vent.
Okay.
But if it's climbing slowly and not getting there, then I'll keep it wrapped up and hope
Keep
it
it
gets there.
tented.
If it doesn't, then I'll throw it back on the grill or the top of the smoker for 30 seconds or 45 seconds, depending on where we can get it go up to the temperature I'm looking for.
Awesome. Have you ever had a bad experience cooking steak? Like forgot a string, forgot a pin? Have you ever been DQ'd?
So far, no.
Good. Well, I just wondering, just because sometimes you get so into your rhythm that you might actually forget something. Like especially in when you're in a small crunch window or something like that. Like you're waiting an extra 10 minutes for your steak to get done resting, and you're like, oh crap, I need to go. But things happen.
I did have one time, I think in Florida, that I thought that I had left a pin in, because whenever I put my packet with my steak in on a towel to keep it off the cold stainless steel table, and I guess when I pulled the pins out, one of them, it moved the towel. I guess the towel moved the pin. So after I turned my steak in and I come back to count my pins, pins or whatever, I noticed one of them was missing. So I was like, oh, I thought I'd left one in there somewhere, and luckily I didn't.
Oh yeah.
I like those pins with the loops on the end, so you can't miss those.
Right? Yeah.
That's my go-to.
Well,
I use one style of pins for my turn-in steak and one style of pins for my practice steaks, and it's just like when I went back I was missing one of my turn-in steaks or pins. So I was like, uh-oh.
Right.
I was working them, but it was all good.
Unless you're like a steak nerd like Brennan, you have the little leather pouch with your 5 pins in there. That way people can keep track of that as well.
That's next level.
That's next level. That's Brendan Nelson style. He always has that thing hanging around his necklace, and he puts his tickets in there, and he knows where all his pins are at all times. Yep, there you go. Are you? So it looks like you're going to start running that, huh?
It's when I got for Arkansas for being 4th place in points or something a couple of years back.
Nice. And it's a couple of years back, and it's still in his truck. So
getting used.
Only because I cleaned out my camper. My camper.
That is awesome. Well, I want to tell you thank you for joining us tonight. But I know you have a laundry list of sponsors. Go ahead and give them a shout out because they have helped you along the way, and it'd be nice for you to give them some love.
No, I'm sponsored by Disruption Rubs with Rick and Susan. They take care of me awesome. Mark and Logan with Primetime Spices also been taking care of me for years. I've run their same stuff for 4 or 5 years now. It seems to be working. Then we got Alan and them at Boar's Night Out, Aces Wild with the Wicked Pig, Craig Carter. I'm sure I forget people all the time, but the last years I've been running the M grills and the blazing pellet smokers. Of course, ThermoWorks. I mean, they've helped me from day one with all my electronics, and I run the Meatrix also. But I have about 4 items of everything with ThermoWorks, from dots to stacks to thermopins. And if I forget somebody, I'm sorry. I didn't make a list, so I'm not sure.
It happens. I get it, but yeah, at least you got the main people that's taking care of you for quite a long time.
Yeah.
That's big.
Right.
Now, are you using duck fat or are you using Wagyu tallow sprays?
First couple of years I used duck fat. Now I use I spray avocado oil or whatever it is. You know, I mean, I still get a couple of cans of duck fat that I have in the trailer, but most of the time I just use avocado oil.
I use Pam. I can get it everywhere.
It's avocado oil. I can get that at Walmart. So.
Yeah, like honestly, like I don't see anything wrong with it. I'm lying there. The only thing wrong with it is when you first spray it on, it has a weird, funky, fishy smell. But as soon as that burns off after the first 10 seconds, that's fine. I've never had an issue with it, and it gives me great lines. I've only touched up in my SCA career once.
Have you?
Yeah, so
maybe
it's just because it's just burnt Pam. Maybe that's what it is.
But I get to where I spray a rag and wipe my grates instead of spraying. I don't spray everything all over the top of the lid and everything else in the world.
Right. It's probably cleaner too. That's actually smart. Maybe I should try that. Cool. All right. Well, thanks a lot, Raymond. Really appreciate it. You can just go ahead and stay out of Utah. Give us the rest of a chance. No, I'm just kidding.
I like flying up there. I mean,
we love to have you, dude. Of course, you're always welcome. And if you ever need a place to stay, you always hit us up. We'll hook you up. But hopefully we could cook with you again this year. And hopefully we'll see you along the competition trail.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, how can people follow you and watch some of your stuff online?
I don't, basically just either my Facebook Raymond Patterson, or every now and then I post on the Patterson High Voltage Grilling Team.
Gotcha.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks, Raymond. Yeah, go and grab your son out of basketball practice and have yourself a good evening.
All right,
Appreciate your time, man.
Yep. All righty. Have a great night.
All right, bye-bye.